Hello and welcome to the 50-cent tour of Friday, April 12th, 2013. Please find a seat on the Liberty Bus and we will begin with our first sight of the day. Neil Keenan comments for the first time, "Rest in peace, Dr. Michael Vandermeer, The Real James Bond" by Ben Fulford. For whatever reason, I had not really heard much about this gentleman before, or if I had, it didn't make it from short-term memory to long-term memory. But this is a fascinating article. I gave quite a bit of time to this morning. Pretty much read this every word. I found it an interesting story. Encouraging on many levels. It is sad because he has died, and Fulford is convinced that he was killed, but he lived a very fruitful life, made some very beneficial decisions, beneficial to mankind, did what he did because he read in the Bible how the wealth is supposed to be restored to the people whose wealth it is, the wealth of the nations. And he just made some amazing decisions and was able to teach people like Neil Keenan and Benjamin Fulford a lot of what he knew. So we can go forward. Royal Bank of Scotland VP arrested in Moscow on $97 million fraud charge. So there's another banker arrest, just to keep up on those. Retired Army officer DHS must surrender their weapons to Department of Defense. Interesting statement, and I'll just take a moment here to show what NESARA has at the top of their page, if I can. RV Republic rumors updates. These are rumors, but there's some interesting ideas here. The original farm claims have been cashed in yesterday. These are the initial 10 families and their heirs confirmed. The other farm claims are still open. IRS terminated as of 4/15/13. All communications to be returned. Awaiting. Very interesting. I would not avoid filing taxes just in case, because as stated, this is rumor. But you know, you might file an extension and wait and see what happens. Once they get the money, I'm not sure that the money will be returned. But you know, talk to a tax professional, because when you do file an extension, if you owe anything, you have to pay interest, unless of course the IRS is terminated. Corporate government terminated as of 4/15/13, awaiting. Obama meeting with Chase Bank, had Diamond today in the White House, closed meeting, no press allowed. So, interesting notions. Is it real? I don't know. We'll know on the 15th, won't we? At least we'll get a short-term answer. So, at the same time, we need to stay focused and keep applying pressure so that one day those rumors do become reality, if not Monday. DHS advising local PDs of general economic collapse by the end of April. The way everything is bent and twisted and spun, perhaps the local PDs are simply being prepared to handle the change when the change does come. Hey, again, your guess is as good as mine. What's really going on? My private Idaho governor signs bill to rein in drone use by law enforcement. So that's good news. I could have saved that for the end. Exxon, however, hates your free speech, tries to censor satirical ad. This struggle is just continuing. Here's another rather related issue, using Big Brother tactics against the police. cop caught in the act. This young man had a camera that overlooks his dashboard, and when the police read him the riot act, he was able to record it, and now the policeman has been suspended. So, you know, who's watching the watchers, right? I mean, as Will Smith said in Enemy of the State, law enforcement wants to watch us, but we, at this point, have the obligation, I think, to be watching them and to hold them to their constitutional oath that they took. Here is some more good news. Again, I could have saved this for the end, but I decided to pepper the good news throughout today. The world's first algae-powered building opens in Hamburg. And along the same lines, could microalgae free America from foreign wars, debt, and environmental destruction? There are so many good ideas for amazing technology available to us now. We just have to begin to employ it. This stunned me a little bit. I mean, we don't think of these issues going back this far, but they certainly do. US government killed 10,000 during Prohibition by poisoning alcohol to discourage use. They added poison to industrial alcohol to discourage consumption. People continued to drink it, so the government added more, and they killed 10,000 people. Be careful where you get your food and drink from. And more news about what we consume. Judge orders pink slime silence to protect company. Again, make sure you know what you are eating and drinking. One more of these. Why is a known toxic substance allowed in organic foods? Just want to help everybody stay on top of all that information so that we are able to make some better decisions about what we eat. And for our final good news, not that the fact that this is so is good news, but the fact that it is being exposed is good news. Bombshell. Italian Supreme Court President says Bilderberg is behind terrorist attacks in both Europe and America. So these things are becoming more and more difficult for them to hide. She Who Will Walk in the Dark thanks you for joining in this tour of April 12th. Hopes that you have a great weekend. The dawn is coming. Weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning. Hoping that you will love one another, take care, and insist on liberty.